What's up, YouTube? You know who it is. It's the man of the hour, your boy Big D, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, check this out, man. I thought I'd just elaborate on this overview. Basically, I got a title it's called Falling Short. And it's not how I'm feeling today, but it's my overview throughout life, my shortcomings, the beginnings, the middles, and the ends. And a lot of times, when we're going through some situations or so forth, or we're reminded of things that back in the days in our past, a lot of us have felt or still feel that we felt short in life. In some sense, that does make truth. It becomes, you know, something that we come familiar with when we have our shortcomings, the things that we have evaluated, been through our life struggles, things that happened in our past, and so forth. And a lot of us have feel that we have not succeeded, and we felt like we got felt like robbed. I felt short on this, and I felt short on that. And a lot of us have a lot of reasoning why those things have happened. For a lot of us, we didn't have guidance. A lot of us didn't have parents. Um, somebody looking over us and telling us from the right and from the wrong, to tell you the truth. So we felt short in those expectations when we were supposed to do the right things and the wrong things. Sincerely, me, myself, didn't have a father figure. You guys know my story. I had no supervision, no guidance. So basically, I felt short through a lot of my upbringing, to tell the truth and making decisions. I mean, that's basically what it's all about, right? Making the right decisions, but not everything is gonna we're gonna do correctly, right? I mean, we have to leave room for making mistakes. We have to leave room for mutual growth, and those are the reason why a lot of us, we fall short. Falling short. We failed to meet expectations. We didn't have those high standards in our lives, and in some sense, we feel like we failed. For a lot of you that don't know, man, in the beginning, for most of us or a lot of us, I failed, finishing school. I didn't go to the 12th grade, but I end up, having different expectations, and I prevailed. I pushed myself. I was able to go to college. You know, I was able to obtain, a degree. I was able to get, certain things that I need to educate myself, because I just felt like in life, I wasn't just really up to par on, being an educated person, when they say, right? A lot of us, it feels weird when you go around a lot of people, when you're at work, or when you're at church, or you're just with colleagues, friends, whatever, and everybody's talking about degrees and so forth. I'm just giving you guys a little example, right? And it makes you feel like, man, what did I miss? And a lot of times we need that. We need that good rubbing off. When somebody says, hey, you gotta finish your school, and you gotta finish this, you gotta finish that. And it starts setting the expectation. You start thinking about the expectations, like, man, but I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And or when somebody else, they come and they tell you, like, hey, do you have a degree? When you go to a job interview, and you're like, no, I don't even got a diploma. You feel like you didn't meet an expectation, because you didn't require something that most people did, right? I mean, I'm just giving you a little brief. And like I said, this last weekend, there's a lot of things that went across my mind, thinking like, man, I've fallen short in a lot of different situations, in different occasions. But then again, I found myself meeting those standards. I didn't follow through with those standards. My expectations were hiding; they were not met. It could be involved in anything, right? You know, we fall short on our relationships, right? Your wife, your husband, with our children. We fall short, with our children a lot of times. Trying to tell them the right things. And they tell us, they revert back to us, well, you didn't finish school, well, you didn't do this. And those are the things that make you feel like, very uncomfortable, man. When the best people that know you, to tell you the truth, is your wife and your kids, man. That's what they say. If you're married, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, whatever, vice versa. If you have children, they're going to tell you the truth. And even a lot of times, man, you know, education has changed, to tell you the truth. The expectations are a lot different. And that's why children these days, they fall short, of getting their degrees or getting good grades and so forth, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm just giving a brief, assumption, little detail. And, it's crazy, is when your kids get older, they start realizing the truth, right? And they start telling you, oh, dad, well, did you get a GED, or did you get your high school diploma? And you're like, damn, I honestly didn't. I honestly didn't meet that expectation. I didn't follow through. I didn't, highly go get, my education that I thought the way I should have, and that it has been done, throughout, the educated system, right? You go through kindergarten, you go through elementary, junior high, and high school, and so forth, right? Then you after that, your expectations are bigger, so then you go to college. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. I had a different route, went a different way. I was more intrigued, by the streets. Thought I was gonna, have a career and make a life out of being a gang member. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know what expectations. I didn't even know what to expect. To tell you the truth, to be a gang member, I just thought you just go out there, kick it on the block, and you know, and that was it. Not realizing that there was a lot of pain and there was a lot of suffering coming to it. Not knowing that there would be a lot of short days, falling short on the streets too. So falling short, it happens in life. Sometimes it's, how could I say, it is said and taught in many other ways, right? It's described in many other descriptions, but it's an everyday life. It's an everyday, settles. A lot of times I fall short, when I go to the gym. When I go out there and I'm trying to do a certain thing, a certain workout or so forth, and I don't feel up to par, or my body can't handle it because maybe I'm a beginner, maybe I haven't worked this muscle out, or so forth. There's just so many descriptions in how we could fall short. But this is what I'm trying to get to. It's always the rebound. It's always the comeback. I didn't meet my goals. I didn't have my targets, set and so forth, right? But it's crazy throughout life. You get to meet those goals. You get to meet those targets. You get to meet those standards. It's the change is everything, right? A lot of us, we don't want to change and we don't want to meet those expectations because of whatever situation. We don't have a support, base standard supportness from whoever it is or whatever it is. To tell you the truth, I mean, a lot of times, man, I listen to music and that motivates me, man. I'm ready to go meet those expectations. To tell you the truth, I set the tone, right? Going to the gym, boom, put some wet locks on, and we're on it, right? So, even though you didn't meet the expectations then, even though you fell short back then, you know, the rebound's the most important thing out of this, to tell you the truth. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys, is that don't give up on your goals, those expectations that you had back then, continue to put them on, continue to be the best person you can, continue to strive, man, continue to motivate yourself, and one thing about, expectations and falling short, man, discipline yourself. To tell you the truth, you don't want to be put in a situation where you have to meet those expectations, whether you like it or not, to tell you the truth, right? A lot of us have been in different, different situations where, now the state, in other words, is making you, do certain things, to be up to par so you won't fall short. Now you're with a certain organization, right? Now you're affiliated with, with a football team, and now your professionalism and everything else goes up, right? Your high mindset, your expectations, and so forth, and you're like, man, you can't fail, But in order to fail, in order to seed, you got to fail a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? We all have heard that thing. You fall 5 times, get up 6 times. That's just the way it is. Whatever determination and motivates you to make you move forward and to fulfill, your goals, your standards, or whatever it is in life, man. Don't ever forget. Yeah, I fell short here. I fell short there. But to me, it ain't over till it's over, man. To tell you the truth, to the day they bury me, and then for me, then hey, that's the day that I call it quits because I can't do any more than after that. So just be encouraged. Still meet your targets, still meet your goals. You know, been disappointed many a times. Been let down many a times, to tell you the truth. My upbringing, didn't have that moral support. So of course, falling short was going to be easy for me along my path. But I had to fight. I had to figure it out myself. A lot of us, we have to figure it out. A lot of you guys got to figure it out too. What kind of message you're sending out there, what kind of example you're being. I mean, we wonder why society, a lot of us get that misinterpretation, or we get confused about who we're listening to and who's representing us, right? And we're just like, okay, so, he has standards, he has morals, but then again, the way of living is just totally different. And I ain't saying nobody's perfect. I ain't pinpointing anybody. I ain't calling out anybody. I'm just calling about my little experience that I went across this weekend, and I felt that there was a lot of stuff that I haven't, of course. haven't fulfilled, haven't done, haven't achieved. And, because of past experience, all the letdowns, people saying you can't do it. I don't got a car. I don't got money. There's just so many excuses on the don't. But I don't hear the fight, right? To come back, to meet those expectations, to get the guard up, to get the armor on, right? And all those beautiful things that go with, hey, the struggle. I mean, that's just basically what it is. It's the struggle, man. There's a lot of people that have walked my path, walked, their path was a lot crazier, a lot more to not fight, a lot more not to move forward. And for us that have fallen short, we're here to motivate those, that's what it is. Been there. I done that. Let me encourage you. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, hey, how I did this, and maybe you could do that. It's an evaluation of your life, to tell you the truth. I have an everyday fight to tell you the truth on what I do in my life. And I expect all my real ones, you guys, to do it too. Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that. But, I don't want you to continue to keep falling and slipping, right? You get up, you see somebody falling, pick them up. I know a lot of times there's people that don't want to help themselves. They have fallen in a certain situation. Their measures are a lot, diverse and different from others. That's just the way it is. Some people don't even want to be helped, to tell you the truth. They will fall and stay where they're at. But us, we want to continue, our mental strive, man. If those people that don't want to be helped, I get it. You move on to the next one, to those who do, right? Because they have targets, they still have goals, they still have measures. I have a lot of family members. A lot of us say, where does it start at, Big D? Well, it starts with our friends. It starts with our families, right? It starts with our coworkers. It starts with people in church or wherever you still see the people. Everybody's diverse. Everybody's different, but has the same problem one way or another, okay? That's just the way it is, man. Evaluate your problems, you know, evaluate the days, your shortcomings. That's just basically it, your shortcomings. And me, if my wife would tell you that I'm always, checking myself, man. And, if I do this right? Am I prepping that right? She thinks I'm a lunatic sometimes, but it's because of all the shortcomings that have happened in my life. I've fallen short all my life where I don't want to fall no more. I mean, I fell so many times where my knees hurt, what I'm saying? It starts being very hurtful, as many times as you fall. So I don't want to fall, right? You're supposed to learn from your first, second, third fall. And for some of us, it takes maybe 100 times to learn before you learn something. But it's okay because, like as I mentioned, as long as you're striving, as long as you're working towards, success, as long as you have goals, as long as, what I mean, your shortcomings will be, your limited shortcomings, what I'm saying? You start seeing a change within yourself, within your family, within your friends, within your community where you work at, right? And people will recognize that, to tell you the truth. They will see the shortcomings. They'll be like, man, Big D has fallen so many times, but he keeps getting up and he keeps moving forward and he keeps being direct and he keeps being humble and he keeps because when you fall so many times, it teaches you other things, humbleness, forgiveness, it teaches you to be respectful. It teaches you to have more, accountability, more moral. See, so it seems like something negative, is going to arouse, but then again, you can make a negative into a positive, right? That's the whole thing. And like I'm telling you, I'm not perfect, people. All right. But what I do expect, from myself is to continue to push. And I have, that support now as I say, like I said, it was over the weekend that I encountered and I start realizing my blessings, right? Who do I got around me? I got a wife that, cares and she's always there, not only to protect me, to take care of me, but to motivate me and to encourage me, to let me know, yeah, I have fallen short, but it's okay to get back up. Just as she does that for me, I do that for her. Then I start realizing that, what I still got to do in life. I got to take care of my daughter. I got to be an example to others. I got to do this and I got to do that. So the expectations are always going to be there, right? And that's what I'm saying. If you're slipping, you'll get up. And for a lot of us, it's hard. Like I said, the environment. Anybody could say, oh, Big D, you have a house behind you, have a roof over your head, you have a car, you have money, you have a job, and this and that. Okay, I didn't get here like that overnight. Okay, I did not. Right? I had to teach myself how to get there. I had to listen to other people and start seeing how they wiggle and how they move, and just like, okay, all you got to do first is just communicate. right? All you got to do first is open up the book, you know. All you got to do first is just hard labor. All you got to do, so those little things that you start realizing, like the little shortcoming things that you need to do, will make a big time into your daily decisions. And for you won't go into that setup, right? It's a setup, man. When you fall short, sometimes it's a setup. You know, we keep falling. You know, we keep, a lot of us repeat, you know, the same pattern, man. Oh, I keep doing this and I keep doing that and I keep doing this. Why? You know, it's because it's supposed to be a learning lesson to you. You know, you're supposed to learn. Oh, a lot of people don't learn, Big D. You know, they don't. You know, they just, some are hard headed people. Okay, but what about the ones that do? I was a hard headed person myself. You know, I was a person that didn't give a damn, and I thought I was going to hold up the 4 blocks, and that was it. You know, my expectations were to go out, you know, and be the, you know, one of the best G's there is in my neighborhood or in that city or in that area. You know, that's what it was. There was a lot of expectations with a lot of negativity behind it. Right? I was ready to kill, steal, destroy, and all that other stuff. I mean, you don't think I was going to fall? Really? You know, if you're in those kind of, you know, mindsets, environments, and you put yourself in that situation, man, for those who are married and you're out cheating, you know, and you're like, oh, I'm, you know, I'm cheating behind my wife or behind my husband, you know, and you're out there, you know, and your expectations are this, and you don't think you're going to get caught. You don't think you're going to fall short. And when you do, it hits hard, man, you know? You know, it hit hard on me when I was on the street. You know, I thought myself, hey, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And I found myself in, you know, diverse places, you know, out there 10 years, you know, hardly worked, took life for granted, hurting other people. I mean, I was sinking big time, man, you know, not even caring about myself, my health, my wealth, my future, or anything like that. Come on, you don't think I fell short? So guess what? You know, the comeback, it's going to be 10 times harder, right? The mindset, you got to fight, you know. I need to achieve a lot of things in life still, man. That's what I'm saying. You know, this is supposed to be about, you know, our future, man. It's supposed to be our expectations and how we went and where we're going, right? So they could say, you know what, homeboy, he changed, man. You know, one way or another, he may not completely change. Everybody has shortcomings. Everybody has fell short, and some of us it takes longer, you know, to understand that, you know, to heal those process, you know, to heal those deep wounds in our lives, right? That we don't talk about, right? Because it's too common, it's too diverse. You know, hey, the first thing you got to do is to admit. You know, if you want, if you're falling short, admit it. You know, that's another thing, and that's a lot of people don't do. We're in a society in today's place where we don't teach our children, you know, the consequences in our life. You know, that's why things in society are going crazy. They find out, how these people find out that there is no expectations in life when they feel they could go rob and steal and be, you know, diverse and be, you know, making things a lot worse than what it is for their life. What is their expectations? You know, at that moment, is to steal this, to take that. You know, it's just like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. But everything has a consequence behind it. That's for sure. If you're not, you know, if you're falling short, it's for a lot of times for reasons. And I'm talking about poor, mid, rich. You know, expectations falling short don't have, you know, a color, a age, a time, or anything. These are emotions that we go through. You know, you could be rich as heck, man, and you could fulfill that. You know, I haven't done this, I haven't completed that. Have all the money that you have, and you ain't ever gonna do it because for whatever reason and for whatever standards. That's just the truth. But as I said, you keep striving that, keep reaching your goals. You know, that's the main thing. There ain't no quit, right? For my real ones, there ain't no quit in us, man. We keep preserving, we keep moving forward, we keep reaching out, we keep, you know, hanging out, we keep doing what we said. You know, stand by people who are strong, that have a foundation. They got their 2 feet that are planted, that are doing something in their life that's moving forward. You know, you want to surround yourself with people that, hey, that been there and done that, because, you know, everything behind them is the truth. Not everything in front of them is a lie, man, you know? And a lot of times we go onto YouTube and we try to meet, you know, or look for those kind of, you know, people who, you know, will target these situations, that will talk about it and so forth. You know, it could be a mental, it could be a physical, whatever the situation is. We all have fallen short. You know, a guy had, and you see it many times, man, a mathematical going to take the test so many times, fail until he studies. You got to study. You got to study, right? You have to have heart. You know, you have to have mindset. You have to have goals. You know, NFL player, basketball player. You know, boom. You know, reported to camp. Oh, you know, we didn't call your name. We didn't call your name, but he's gonna go back and he's gonna train and he's gonna be out there for hours and he's gonna make himself successful. A guy that don't have his diploma, that has a family, that has bills, that wants better for us, who wants to take care of his kids and so forth. He's going to go out there, man. He's going to get his education. He's going to go to college. He's going to do whatever he can to change his mindset, so he won't fall short because he's tired of living this way, or she's tired of living that way. That's what I'm saying. You can't look at where you're at right now. You got to look and prepare for the future. Falling short is okay, but a lot of us take it personal because a lot of it's support standards. It's a base, but there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of programs that are out there. A lot of us, have expectations for my cousin. I hope he stops drinking one day, or he stops doing drugs. My wife stops doing this and stops doing that. But what kind of backbone are you? What kind of support system are you? That's where it comes from too. It's easy to say one thing, but doing is another. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of times we got to help ourselves. So a lot of times we're gonna have to motivate ourselves. A lot of times we're gonna have to take ourselves to that place where it's gonna hurt mentally, physically, socially, emotionally. Hey, that's what it is. When we fall short, it hits us direct, man. A lot of times you put yourself, and I'll give you a prime example, right? Somebody that goes drugs, they get raided, they lose their kids. Now, what do? They're all, everything's taken away from them, and all expectations, life, future, goals, plans, everything's all taken away. You got to get back up, recognize and identify the problem, and fight back, which is going to be 10 times harder, to get what's most important to you. I would hope and say children are important to us. People, you're gonna make them, right? You gotta take care of them. What's my expectation as a father? Take care of my kid. 18 years old, she's going to college, and I thought it was gonna be over, to tell you the truth, and it ain't. It ain't. I thought I was gonna cut the cord. No, it wasn't like that. The expectation is always gonna be there. You see, so that goes to show you that I have fallen short in a mindset where I thought parenting was going to be this and that. And no, because why? Because I'm still learning. I'm telling you guys, I ain't perfect, I'm telling you, hey, falling short, it's okay, one way or another, we're going to get it. And I just thought I'd just come out there and to show you, the measure up, we got to measure up, man, right? That's right. We got to step up to the plate. All this controversial, all this backsliding, talking about one another over social media too. That's crazy, man. The social media in the last couple months, to tell you the truth, since I slowly went away from YouTube due to whatever situation I was going through back then, and now some of you guys know why, and some of you guys don't. But the message has never been stopped. The expectations were never there. Yeah, I have fallen short, doing my lives or whatever, this and that. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm here to make friends, straight up. And if you don't like my wiggle and anything else, man, then hey, then I fell short to you. But I'm gonna do the best I can for the rest of my subscribers and those who rock with me and we roll, And that's just the way it is. We start off at the 10-yard line and we go all the way to the other side, man, Those are the expectations, You fall down, you get up. Help your children, help your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents and so forth, man. That's when it starts, when you fall short, man, start helping out others. Put yourself, we do things to ourselves, right? So the best way, to regenerate ourselves and make ourselves a lot of times feel better is help those, because when we're in bad mood and distraught, we never really want to intend to hurt other people. We don't want people to go through what we're going through. So we go out of our ways to help people so they won't feel the way we do and this and that. And it's just giving back. It's just, when you fall short, you fall up, get up. So achieve to get back. I just thought I'd just come out here and spend a couple minutes with you guys, man. Like I said, I was overseeing, evaluating my life this week, and in a good way, so self-reflecting, to tell you the truth. And I realized that there's some things that I still got to, to complete, and there's a lot of things that I got to do, but it's life, and I got nothing but time. And these are good things, right? These are positive things. It's just sad to say a lot of us, even at 10, and we fall short on doing, harm to society, doing bad things. Damn, dog, I failed to rob the bank. You know what I mean? I failed to be with that chick. I could have cheated. I failed to do this. I failed to do that. It just, whatever you're thinking of, your fall could be real hard, man. Your fall could be disastrous, right? And it's gonna be falling short, and it's gonna be falling long, to tell you the truth, because there's a lot of things that we do in life, and we do it to ourselves, and we can't meet. Those expectations are getting back on our feet and making things right. It's gonna take a minute, and it's gonna take a lot of work, and that's what I'm talking about. So, I just thought I'd come out here real quick, to my real ones that are out there, man. Do me a favor, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share the algorithm. I just thought I'd come out here with the real ones, and everybody's real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say, oh, just because you came across my channel, they're not a real one. No, I'm not. It's just a slur, and that's what it is, man. But with that being said, man, I thought I'd take up a little bit of your time. If you fall short of life, man, or short, of your daily activities, of whatever activities you're doing in life, man, hey, get up, get up until you finish it, man. Finish the race. With that being said, you know who it is, your man of the hour, Big D.